You're stuck at home in quarantine. It's 5 o'clock. Why not have a drink with me?
Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Hope everyone's having a good day. I had a good day. Sun is out, still chilly but not too bad, and not too busy today. Medium busy, I would say. I had some work, had a few meetings midday on Zoom, and a few just computer work that I did for a while this afternoon. But all in all, nothing too crazy. Did have an opportunity to make a batch of brownies. Excited about that. Kitchen smells really good. They are cooling now and will be ready in a couple of hours. Helen and I often have this debate, and it starts with like chocolate chip cookies, but extends to brownies also, about the sort of ideal temperature at which to eat them. More specifically, whether eating a still warm baked good, specifically cookies and brownies, is better or worse than after it is completely cooled down. And I think the obvious answer that many people at least think is obvious is like, oh, I want that like freshly baked cookie. But I actually reject that warm baked good. And think that the flavors and the tastes are sort of still developing, and you need it to be completely cooled down in order to get the full profile and character of the cookie or the brownie. And so I understand the appeal. I understand I think a lot of it comes from the aroma of the room is so, it smells so good because it's been baking in the oven, and I just want to take that aroma and eat the aroma. With this warm baked good, or I want to put like ice cream on it. There's all these sensory reasons that our brain wants us to think that the slightly warm baked good is superior to the fully cooled baked good. But in reality, you are going to be missing out on some of the flavors of a truly great brownie or chocolate chip cookie if you don't wait for it to be totally cool. So maybe that's a controversial opinion, I don't know. It's how I feel. And the brownies, as we speak, are cooling on a rack on the counter, just about 6 feet yonder. So excited for the cocktail that I'm making today. It's one that I haven't made before, but I see popping up again and again and again in some of the online cocktail and tiki forums that I frequent. And it is a traditional Barbados cocktail called the Corn and Oil. Corn and Oil. And I believe that the name, the history, like a lot of island drinks, is a little fuzzy, but I believe the name refers to the two main ingredients, which is a rum and falernum. And I think the idea is that the colors of the drinks represent corn. It has sort of like a pale yellow hue to it. And the oil, which comes from this darker rum color rather. And anyway, like I said, this is a traditional Barbados drink. A lot of people liken it to a sort of island or Caribbean old-fashioned, in that the spirit is rum, and then the sweetener comes from the falernum here. As a reminder, Velvet Falernum is a Barbados liqueur that is made from steeping limes, I think cloves, almonds, ginger in a Barbados rum and sweetened up for this delicious liqueur. And then I also have a Barbados rum here that we're using, which is the Plantation. It's aged 5 years. Plantation's an awesome Barbados distillery. And then we're going to use our last ingredient, our great and iconic Angostura bitters, which are not from Barbados, but are definitely Caribbean, and they have them in Barbados. The other thing that I'm not totally sure about that I'm going to maybe temper these a little bit is a lot of recipes have some lime juice in it also, and some don't. So if you like to make it like a more classic old-fashioned, like no citrus at all. But like I said, a lot of the recipes are using like 1/4 of an ounce or 1/2 an ounce of the lime juice. So I think I'm just going to use a squeeze just to brighten it up a little bit without it, without going too crazy. And so let's give this a whirl. I'm going to build it as is traditional right in my old-fashioned glass. And I'm going to start with a nice heavy hand dose of about 3 dashes of my Angostura bitters. Just got actually in my recent liquor delivery a backup bottle of Angostura bitters, because the problem with this is that you can't actually see because of the way the label is, and it's a dark bottle anyway, how much is in here. But from shaking it and just feeling it, I can tell I'm almost out. So I have a backup bottle, and then I of course have my beard bitters, which sub in just nicely anytime also. So, all right, so I've got my bitters in here. Next I'm going to add my Velvet Falernum. And for this I am going to do 1/2 ounce. So that's going to sweeten it up with also a lot of just interesting flavors from how they make this liqueur. And then I'm going to do 2 ounces of this, it's a blended aged Barbados rum, plantation 5 years, 2 ounces of that. Beautiful. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to just cut a little wedge of lime. And I'm just going to give a healthy squeeze in there. To get some lime juice, it's probably like 1/8 of an ounce. Maybe a little bit more. All right, so now I'm going to add some crushed ice. I'm just going to like lightly crush the ice. I don't want to pulverize it. I don't want like pebble ice, but I want something smaller than my cubes here. So I'm going to take 4 cubes, get it into my Lewis bag, and then just give it a healthy little smash. Pour those in. Very nice. And now I'm going to give this a nice little stir. Get that nice and mixed up. And then take another little wedge of lime here. Cut out the pith. And I'll just stick that right on the side there. And so here we have this very simple drink, the corn and oil. Let's give it a try. Cheers. It smells good. Ooh, that's a very nice drink. That's really interesting. So like if you picture yourself, or imagine yourself just like, sipping on a pretty decent rum, but then add to that, a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of interesting spice to it, and you get this just really nice drink of it. It's complex, it has interesting flavors. Really quite good. Great way to drink some good rum. I love that. Now there's a modern variation, or say a modern style of this drink, the corn and oil, that's made using blackstrap rum, which is like way darker than this. I think it's made from, rum is made from molasses. Molasses is a byproduct of the sugar making process. So you get the cane juice, you squeeze out all the cane juice, and then you process that to form the sugar crystals, and then the runoff liquid is molasses. And what you can do is you can take that molasses and then reuse it to form more crystals. And I think if you do that 3 times, after that third processing, you get what's called the blackstrap molasses. And some distillers have realized, like, oh, if we make rum with this blackstrap molasses, you get some really interesting deep flavors and a really dark color. And Cruzan is a rum distiller that has made a really, really popular blackstrap rum it's really popular in a lot of cocktail circles right now. So if you see a bottle of Cruzan blackstrap rum, recommend to pick that up. And that people are going crazy over their corn and oils with that Cruzan blackstrap rum. But this is a good drink. This is a drink I would definitely return to. I'll definitely make again. It's a great use for my Velvet Falernum, which usually gets used in teeny bits and pieces or amounts from drink to drink. But here it kind of takes takes more center stage. I mean, obviously the rum is center stage, but it's stage left as opposed to backstage or in the wings. And it's good. It's good. The corn and oil. So if you ever find yourself in Barbados, you now know what to get. You get the corn and oil. It's a nice simple drink. It's like an island old fashioned. I kind of like that. And then I think you could probably serve it too on like a big ice cube if you wanted to class it up a little bit. I kind of like the island style of using the crushed ice, although it is slightly harder to sip without a straw. But I feel like you don't want a straw with this drink, right? This isn't something that you're just gonna kind of suck down. You wanna live with it for a little bit and enjoy it. And I can deal with the crushed ice as I do so. All right, well, that's all I got. A pretty simple, straightforward drink, especially compared to the rum barrels that I made on Monday night, which I think used 12 or 13 or 14 different ingredients. This used just 3, and very good ones at that. And I really enjoyed it. I'm going to be coming back to this cocktail in the future.
It's 5 o'clock. Why not have a drink with me?
Thanks for having a drink with me. Hope you have a drink of your own. And I will see you all soon.